can I push you on something? You've said the word when I
Right.
was gone. You've used the word gone a couple of times. Is there something there like gone as in, do you mean, do you mean gone from your faith,
Society.
gone from society? Do you mean like checked into rehab? Do you mean like
I was in prison.
okay.
I
I
was
knew there
in prison for 6.5 years because of some stuff that I did that was my own fault.
was
It
something
was
there.
not
I get,
financially related. Yeah.
oh, okay. I could tell by the way I'm
So
like, what's
I was literally in timeout.
literally, yeah,
I
because you said a
needed to
couple
be
of times
there.
when I was gone from society, I'm like, what does he mean? Did he go to like a monastery? What's he talking about?
I froze myself for 6.5 years and just went to sleep. No.
And was it real? Was it real or was it not fair type of deal?
Oh no, it was real. It was totally me. I confessed to my wife, said, "Hey, here's what I've been doing." She called the police, and I just sit there and curled up and sucked my thumb for as they arrested me pretty much. And no,
Until they got there. Oh my God.
yeah,
Six and a half.
no, it was totally me. Completely confessed. It was my fault. 100% accountable for it. No one to blame but my own. And I mean to see stupid decisions on my own part.
Is
I
this why
led
you're
myself down a path that I was gone.
okay? Is
I
it
was prideful. I didn't communicate. I messed up. I hurt a lot. I have one victim, but I really hurt a lot of people with the way I acted. And
mm,
then that right there just shook a lot of primary, secondary, tertiary, victims as far as, family, friends, businesses, neighborhood, church, people who don't know me. I mean, it's impactful.
oh my gosh, I
This
can't
is vulnerable talking about this. I mean, I talk about this with individuals a lot of times, but now I know there's going to be people listening to this who don't know me. So now I'm like, oh man,
well, you know, you can when we edit, we can always go back and cut it out if you want to. So
yeah,
I would encourage you to just feel free to
no, I
share, and
appreciate it.
if you want something out of there, we can pick it out.
I'll
Can I
run it
ask
by
you?
the partners and let
Yeah,
them
yeah,
make the
yeah, yeah,
decision.
yeah.
They all know. They all know about me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
to. I'm sure you had to disclose everything. Is this why you don't have a relationship with your daughter?
that's exactly why I don't have a relationship with my daughter.
Okay,
Yeah, she
fair
was
enough.
6 months old when I confessed, and then I went to prison and haven't seen her since.
Okay,
That was July 31st, 2013,
okay. We'll move on
and then
from
I
this
got
topic.
out on January 14th of 2020.
Can I ask one more question? We don't have to make the whole
Yeah,
podcast about
yeah,
this. One more question on this deal.
definitely.
I had a cousin that I thought was one of the toughest guys I'd ever been around. I mean, the dude was just super tough. He's kind of mean. He was rough, rugged, just built like a tank. Just one of those guys, like if when we were growing up, like if we ever got in a fight in the neighborhood, we'd always be like, "Hey, go get Ricky." Ricky will take care of it.
Go get
He was
Guido.
yeah, he was one of those guys. Anyway, he did some prison time later on when we grew up, and I remember visiting with him as a grown man, and I was thought of him, like I said, as a super tough guy.
Yeah.
And he told me, he's like, let me tell you something, man. He's like, prison is not a place you want to be. He's like, it isn't. He goes,
No,
is
it's
it as
not.
bad? Is it as bad as people say?
It's interesting. Yes and no.
Okay.
In a lot of places, it's not only as bad, but it's worse. There's a lot of things that people don't know about that goes on in prisons, and
Uh,
like you said, it's a whole. The way that one of my cellies, my cellmates, explained it to me, he's like, Patrick, get rid of all the rules you've ever known in society. He said, this is not planet Earth. It's a whole other planet. You're going to have to learn a new set of rules, new game, and you're going to have to figure them out because they change as you go.
man, your faith, because
Yep.
you originally were you Mormon originally? Were your folks
I
Mormon?
was. Yep. My
Okay.
parents are converts to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints. And even out of us kids, only a couple of us are members.
And how about now? Are you
I am actually, my membership is withdrawn right now due to my charges, my circumstance, but I'm working through getting that back. I'm very active, I'm very participating, and I look forward to the day when I can be rebaptized and be back in it.
what, dude? I really admire that. Like, wow, there are your spirit is so positive.
Thank you.
You wouldn't, based on everything you've been through, like you could easily just be a disgruntled, angry, pissed off guy. Like you could just be one of those guys walking around. I hate the world. Life's not fair. All these things. You could easily be one of those guys. Meanwhile, you are one of the most positive, energetic finance and accounting executives I've ever met.
I'm going to tell you a couple of fun stories. First of all, thank you. That means a lot to me. I wasn't always this way. I have been for the most, and I actually had a conversation with a buddy of mine whom I met in prison about that. But when I was in high school, I had a pretty good attitude, but not all the time. And so my dad, there again, my hero, would wake me up. I would go to early morning seminary. It's Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints study, scriptures and stuff. Because I live back east, I'd get up and go at 6 a.m. I'd actually get there at 6 a.m. So I'd have to get up at like 4:30 to go. Wow. My dad would wake me up and I'd be like, I don't want to be out of bed, angry and everything. And he'd be like, son, I want you to learn how to be happy. And here's how you do that. So you find something that's going to make you happy. Soccer practice, a date this weekend, driving your car to whatever in a month. He said, I don't care when, what, where. He said, you just find it right now and you dwell on it until it brings a smile to your face. And he would tell me that every morning when I had a bad attitude. And he would drill that in me. And along with that, he'd say, smile. Because if nothing else, they'll wonder what you're up to.
Great advice. I love that. It's so good. Yeah, I really admire it, man. What a wonderful story. This is going to be a great podcast where here's somebody who, been divorced twice, ended up, in a bad situation. You could easily have gone down the wrong path from that point forward and just turned into, a lifelong bad guy.
And I've seen friends do that.
And man, you're just like, hey, what you talking about? I just married my third wife, who's awesome. I'm reconciled with my son, working on my daughter. Yeah. By the way, got a great job, working for a great company, working on my MBA. Working on my MBA. I mean, that's so awesome, bro. I mean, really,
I'm blessed. I am truly blessed.
Trying to get back into the church. I mean, good for you, man. I mean, really, that is cool. I didn't know any of that about you before the podcast. So, I already admired your resume before, but now I'm just like, wow, okay, now I'm even more impressed.
Well, thank you. Something that someone, actually two things that still impact who I am today. Those that come out, there's two types of people that come out of prison. Those that come out bitter and those that come out better. And I've chosen to be that second person. I worked my tail off. I read hundreds of books, studied all kinds of religions, studied all kinds of other things, even kept up with my studies, as far as school. I got my hands on every single book, including that green one right there. I got that one from prison. Actually, I got 3 of those books while I was in there. No, 4 of them. The first 4 on the left. While I was in there, studied all that. I've got another couple, So I learned to, and someone else that said something made an impact. They said you can either spend time, waste time, do time, or invest time. And so I chose to invest my time.